And we can move on to 5.16. A, waive the competitive bidding process pursuant to Lake County Code Section 2-38.2 based on the unique power of the goods. B, approve agreement for payment processing professional services between the County of Lake and RT Lawrence Corporation and authorize the chair to sign. And I did pull this item after having a conversation with our treasurer tax collector, Patrick Sullivan, yesterday. And we both thought it would be a great opportunity to let the public know exactly what's going on with this significant change.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, for pulling this from the consent agenda. Patrick Sullivan, Treasurer Tax Collector. I wanted to take this opportunity to update your board on some of the changes that are going on surrounding this contract in my office. One of the things we've been working on over the last 6 months has been making changes to the way we're processing payments. RT Lawrence, or RTL, is the company that we currently use to process our check payments and integrate them into Megabyte, our property tax software. But presently, that process has been a more manual process. Right now, checks are ultimately sent, well, up until recently, they were sent physically to our bank in order to process them. In order to complete this lockbox agreement that's on the agenda, one of the changes we've had to make is to do electronic check processing. So just in the last few weeks, and actually last week, we began doing our first batches of electronic check processing. So our checks are no longer going physically to the bank. They're actually able to be processed the same day, transmitted directly to our bank and deposited. So that is sort of the first step in this process. That's going to allow a more rapid transmission of deposits. Taxpayers should see that money hit their account a lot faster. I mean, theoretically, if you were to come into our office, if there's no backlog, within a day, that check will actually be drawn from your account. But the next step is dealing with just the massive influx of mail that we get throughout the year related to property tax payments. Many other counties have used a lockbox service, and that's what we're looking to do here. So property tax payments, instead of coming directly here to the courthouse, mailed to my office, if we can get this set up in time for fall, which we have every expectation of doing, secured property tax bills will actually have a return mailing address of a P.O. box down in Southern California. It's going to be like how some of our neighboring counties have it set up. RTL, the same company we already use to do our check processing and imaging here, has a large facility down there. And so our taxpayers will mail their bill down there, and it's going to run through their lockbox facility. They have sort of an incredible array of machinery that it runs through. It automatically processes the payments, and then it transmits a file to us, which we then send to the bank. So instead of those, we have over 60,000 property tax bills get mailed out. Tens of thousands of them are coming back here. We have a small staff. It's very overwhelming for us. Those bills are going to go to RTL. They'll be processed there. Theoretically, again, they're geared up for same day or close to it in terms of processing, which means that between the changes we've made in-house, coupled with this service, hopefully we would not have a backlog going forward. We'd be able to process payments as they come in, and that we wouldn't, even when we experience that rush, we wouldn't be overwhelmed. Right now, our goal is to use this for secured property tax over time. This year, if we can, we're going to try to do unsecured first, which would be going out in July. It's going to be tight, but if we can do it, that's the first time it would be in place. Otherwise, going forward, we anticipate on an annual basis that both unsecured and secured property tax bills are going to go to the RTL facility in Southern California. That's one of the things I just really want everyone to be aware of, that at some point in the next year or two, on one's property tax bill, it is not going to have a return address anymore of Lakeport. It's probably going to be more like a lot of other bills you receive where they're going to another facility. So I want everyone to be mindful of that and just be aware of the changes we're making. That also means that when people send in checks, it's likely that the amount will be withdrawn from their account potentially immediately, potentially the same day or shortly thereafter. So I know as we clear those backlogs, I just would like the public and your board to be aware of those changes. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you for implementing this change. This is significant. We've all gotten the complaints over the last couple of years about checks being held for months, so this is going to make a big difference. So thank you so much. Any questions from the board?
Thank you for freeing up my emails for better emails.
And I'm just checking the Zoom room, see if anyone is here. I don't see any hands up, so we'll bring it back to the board for action.
Madam Chair, I move to waive the competitive bidding process pursuant to Lake County Code, Section 238.2, based on the unique nature of goods, and approve the agreement between the County of Lake and Megabyte Systems, Inc. I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. Part A was the same, and B, an approve agreement for payment processing professional services between County of Lake and RT Lawrence Corporation, and authorize the chair to sign.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great, thank you.
Thank you.